From day one at Dead Horse State Point in Moab, Utah.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
This week we're discussing whether new tech is ever enough of a game changer to instantly change the course of cycling, for good or bad, after the winner of Milano-Sanremo, Matej Mohoric, used a dropper post at the weekend.
We've also got news of why the new CEO of Specialized has made a career out of making products that suck. Lachlan Morton's epic fundraising ride and Dua Lipa's new cycling shoes. All that and much more. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that flat bar gravel bikes are actually quite good.
And that drop bar mountain bikes are actually quite bad.
Although unfortunately, nobody that watched that video with Doddy and Si are any the wiser to either of those two things, because nobody could concentrate on anything except for Si's hideous tights.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! They were period correct hideous tights, Dan. And they were actually a bargain from Amazon.
You got them from Amazon?
I did, yeah.
I thought you'd got them from Mr. Motivated. They're bloody awful.
Now, we also learned this week that the UN has just adopted a resolution to promote cycling to combat climate change. Although, slightly awkwardly, the motion was proposed by Turkmenistan's president, who runs a totalitarian regime when he's not cycling.
And finally, we learned that it was a new, to road cycling at least, tech innovation that won Milano-Sanremo. A dropper seat post, which lowers your saddle and therefore your centre of gravity at the flick of a switch or the turn of a grip shift.
Yes, it was that, plus arguably some good legs to get over the climbs and some epic bike handling skills that were displayed by race winner Matej Mohorič on Saturday.
Epic bike handling skills? I mean, he was on a knife edge, wasn't he?
He was on a knife edge, yeah. They were either epically good or epically sketchy.
Yes.
I haven't quite worked it out. This first moment that he had, I think was due more to not looking where he was going by nearly riding into that wall, wasn't it?
I think he was trying to get aero, wasn't he? But this second one was a particularly good save, really, wasn't it?
It was an epic save. Perhaps he was able to make it due to his dropper post, hence why it stole the headlines. Now, it's got to be said that he used that dropper post 38 years after they were invented.
Yeah, nobody can say that roadies aren't at the cutting edge of technology when it comes to bikes.
No, to be fair, we were quicker to embrace disc brakes, weren't we? Just 19 years between the mainstream use of them on a mountain bike to their first use within the pro peloton.
Not long then, couple of decades.
Yeah.
I think the big question though is how long it will be before roadies adopt 29-inch wheels like the mountain bikers.
Well, I don't quite know what to say to that, Dan.
They've got those new 29s, haven't they, with the bigger wheels than they used to have. Anyway, predictably, all eyes were then on the UCI, who were surely going to move to ban droppers as of Sunday morning.
But no, the UCI actually took to Twitter to say that, guys, we approved them in 2014. What has taken you so long?
Although strangely, that tweet has since disappeared, so maybe they're now back at their headquarters in Switzerland, reconsidering now that they've watched the action replays. What was also interesting on Saturday was that Mohoric said to Cycling News afterwards that he had destroyed cycling.
Yeah.
Firstly with the Super Tuck, and now a second time with a dropper seat post, and that he thinks it will soon become de rigueur amongst his fellow professional riders.
Well, yes, but it's a wonder that none of them adopted this technology after you used it on a Canyon road bike back in 2017.
It's incredibly strange that nobody would look to something that I did and consider it might make them faster, Si, isn't it?
To be fair, Dan, your conclusion in that video was quite prescient, wasn't it?
So, could we see dropper seat posts being used in the pro peloton in the near future? Well, I have to say, I think we might. We don't take one person to experiment with it and find an advantage. We might see a whole lot more following suit.
It's almost like you know what you're talking about.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I don't think so.
We do all get lucky though from time to time if you make enough videos. Anyway, it got us thinking though, what other pieces of technology have been used over the years that have been instrumental in a rider winning a big race? There's
one very obvious one.
What's that?
There? Greg LeMond's aero bars that saw him overhaul Laurent Fignon on the final day's time trial at the 1989 Tour de France.
Yes, however, whilst there is little doubt that those bars and his aero helmet were utterly instrumental in that win, It's worth saying Le Mans wasn't the only guy using them, was he, during the race? A number of riders from the 7-Eleven squad had also used them, just without the same success.
No, not quite the same success as Le Mans. Unlike on Saturday, though, where we're pretty certain that Matej Mohoric was the only rider using a dropper seat post within the peloton. So, have they destroyed cycling aero bars? Thankfully, no. But only because the UCI banned them from road races.
Yay!
And in time trials, we think it's okay.
I think it's okay, yeah, I agree. Tri-bars haven't destroyed cycling, thanks to the UCI.
Right, how about Mark Cavendish then, when he won the UCI Road World Championships back in 2011 in Copenhagen? He was using a skin suit and an aero helmet, which at the time were rarely, if ever, used in road racing, were they?
Well, yes, and it wasn't actually an aero helmet, was it? It was a standard road helmet with a cover or fairing, which is technically against UCI regulations, although he was never reprimanded, was he?
Was it? Well, legal or not, it was revolutionary at the time, wasn't it? And it's now widely adopted by most of the pro peloton. Whether or not that made the big difference between winning and losing for Mark Cavendish, it's hard to quantify, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but he won by a hair's breadth, didn't he? Did it destroy cycling? I mean, it certainly made us all look pretty dorky for a few years.
It still does. Aero helmets on the road still look dorky, don't
well, until the latest generations. Well, so the new ones are okay. I'd say it's been a rough decade. But whenever we talk about innovation and going faster, we have to talk about Graham Abbree.
Yes.
Don't we? His old faithful bike, made from old washing machine parts, and was so fast, it was banned. So he then invented the Superman position, which was also banned.
Both were used to great success, weren't they?
They
by
were
Graham
indeed.
Abbree, and then also Chris Boardman afterwards. And speaking of Chris Boardman, his Lotus bike from the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. It looked space age back then, didn't it? And to be honest, it still looks space age now, courtesy of the rules that the UCI latest implemented to keep bikes looking like
bikes.
Yes.
Basically. Again, we can't say for certain that the Lotus was the difference between winning and losing for Boardman, but it definitely helped a lot. And were it not for the UCI, personally, I think that those bikes would have ruined cycling.
Do you?
Yeah. As it is, they're the stuff of legend now, aren't they? Like a rock star prematurely cut down in their prime.
Well, let's move on. What about carbon wheels then? I mean, I actually put this question about revolutionary tech out on Twitter, and Luke Rowe replied, saying that Cancellara's 2010 win at Paris-Roubaix on deep section zip carbon wheels was a game changer. But we're not quite so sure about that, are we?
No, because deep section carbon wheels had already been used by Cancellara's teammate Lars Mikkelsen in 2007, most of the HTC team in 2008, and dare I say it, the Cervelo test team in 2009. It's just that Cancellara was the first to win on them, presumably because he was the best.
Yeah, in Paris-Roubaix at least, because prior to that, Danny Nelson claimed on Twitter to have been the first ever rider to have used carbon wheels to win big.
Ooh, get him at the 1995 World Amateur Championships. They're not that big, really. Anyway, he used some lightweight and very innovative ADA carbon fibre wheels en route to victory. Again, we've got no idea whether there's a difference between winning and losing, but they're unlikely to have accounted for the 4.5 minutes that Matt Stevens lost to Nelson on that day.
To be fair to Matt, he came 8th at the World Amateur Championships that year in 1995. He wasn't a bad rider in his day.
He wasn't, and actually, to be fair to him, I bet that many of those 4.5 minutes were spent trying to clip in, weren't they?
Yes.
Now, one of the other replies that Dan received reminded me of what must be the single most innovative piece of technology ever used to win a bike race. Back in 1984 at the Giro d'Italia, where local favourite Francesco Moser adopted the use of a helicopter.
Yes, this is that old story that the TV helicopter at the time flew in a position that aided Moser in the final time trial, but hindered Laurent Fignon, which is a claim, obviously, that has always been denied by Moser himself.
Yeah, he was just flying that day, wasn't he?
Very good, Si. Yeah, something like that. Fignon was going like a chopper, apparently.
Yay! Pun central today. Helicopters definitely haven't destroyed cycling, have they? But influenced by vehicles in races like motorbikes happens every race.
Yeah, and it has done for years and years and years. Milano-Sanremo for a start, actually, on Saturday.
Controversially.
Finally, perhaps, the best race-winning innovation for me Andy Hampson's skiing gloves that won him the Giro d'Italia in 1988. So his team manager, Jim Mohoric, went out the night before having seen the terrible weather forecast for the following day and bought his team a load of thick gloves, allowing Hampson to ride to victory in the now legendary snowy conditions over the Gavia. Warm gloves is a tech innovation that I think all of us can get behind, isn't it?
They have not destroyed cycling, categorically, have they? They are like an excellent innovation. Anyway, let us know in the comments section below what innovative equipment you think has been used to win big.
And whether or not it has destroyed cycling, like Mohoric claims to have done with a drop of Seatpost. Next up, your weekly GCN Inspiration, your chance to win one of 3 prizes each week. All you've got to do is upload your most inspirational cycling photo or video to the GCN app and you'll put yourself in with a chance.
Yeah, before we get started, a update from last week where we were deciding, well actually we weren't even deciding, we hadn't got a clue where one of the entries was from. Turns out it is the Phu Mai Bridge in Saigon. Greg Reaper said, it's not my photo, but I think that's where it is. To which Matthew Young replied, it is my photo, and you are spot on. So there we go.
There we
Thank
go.
you very much. Getting involved in the comments, guys.
Well, I think all of the winners this week have said where their photos have come from.
Thank you very much.
If appropriate. You'll find out why later on. So in third place, getting themselves a GCN Elite water bottle is Damon Hayes. I love exploring the dirt roads outside the city of Phnom Penh. It's just so awesome. Great views and a real feeling of adventure. Not to mention, I ended the ride with a 30-ish kilometre section of super smooth roads and the occasional perfectly paced truck to draft from.
Nice. I think that's our first inspirational photo from Cambodia, isn't it? So thank you very much for sending that one in. Second place this week is a remarkable story from New Leaf Guitars. Here's some inspiration. £470 to £189. That's some serious weight loss, isn't it?
Unbelievable drop, yeah.
I just want to share with the GCN community a bit of inspiration. I was £470 type 2 diabetic with high blood pressure and major depressive disorder and literally was at death's door. But thanks to my love of cycling and GCN, I've transformed my life. I'm now down to £189, type 2 diabetes gone, blood pressure perfect, and depression has disappeared.
Wow.
I literally feel like Superman. We kind of look like Superman, to be fair. That's amazing.
Yeah, incredibly inspirational, all the stories that we receive like that, which is absolutely brilliant. You will receive an endurance book and a spring cobbled classic t-shirt.
Yeah, he said that he couldn't ride for more than 2 or 3 miles when he started, and now he's doing 100 miles regularly. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Power of the bicycle. In first place, getting themselves a spring cobbled classic t-shirt, cool red sweatshirt, and an elite red water bottle is Dad Shorts. Lake Kawaguchi bike trail. Epic views, highly recommend this area.
That is an epic view, isn't it?
Fuji bike in front of Mount Fuji.
There's not much more aesthetically pleasing than a volcano, isn't it?
No, a snow-capped one at that.
Yeah, a dormant volcano. I mean, there's probably quite a lot less aesthetically pleasing than an erupting volcano, particularly if you're in close proximity to it.
They're still aesthetically pretty pleasing if you're just looking at a photo of them, aren't they? Just not up close.
Yeah, okay. Just don't take the photo. Just draw it instead, like a picture. But yeah, anyway, there we go. There's some bangers there, 3 absolute pearlers. So thank you all for sending them in. Of course, if you want to get involved next week, just upload them to the GCN app. There's loads of inspirational photos on there. We pick our favourite 3 each week.
And now it's time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts now, and we'll start with news that between the last GCN show and this one, Lachlan Morton, chief ultra-endurance athlete and general funster for EF Education Nippo, decided to, and then did, ride 1,000 kilometres non-stop from Munich to the Ukrainian border to raise money for Global Giving's Ukraine Crisis Fund.
Along with sponsors EF, Rafa and Cannondale making big contributions, he's already raised over $200,000, which is amazing, especially when you consider he was only aiming to raise $50,000 initially. He rode without sleeping for 42 hours through freezing weather, although as he said, his suffering has come to an end, whereas the plight of millions of Ukrainians has not, unfortunately.
No, indeed. Now, elsewhere in the world, another cyclist was making quite the statement in Washington, D.C., where they single-handedly held up a protest of truckers who'd formed the self-titled People's Convoy. They were driving apparently to voice their frustrations against COVID-19 mandates and other grievances, according to Newsweek.
But one cyclist joined the fray and gave as good as they got in this video on the shutdown DC Twitter feed.
They must have had nerves of steel to do that, wasn't they? Either that, or I was thinking they might have just been doing Zone 2 training, because I feel like that's sometimes what I look like these days.
Probably. They must have watched last week's show, surely.
Must have done.
It's been a while since we did a tenuous cycling celebrity of the week, though, segment, hasn't it?
A while? It's been like 5 years, mate.
Well, I thought we should dust it off because it's been so long, because there's Cycling Tips reported on a really cool story of Australian brand Velokicks, who were commissioned to make a custom pair of shoes for Dua Lipa. Apparently, an avid bike rider.
Wow, yeah. Velokicks supplied the shoes. The shoe doctor, Shay Gibbons, whose work we've featured actually on and off over the years, did an incredible job with the artwork. And there you go, what a pair of shoes.
Unbelievable. Apparently, according to the article, there are 2 pairs, and the ones that don't fit are going to be auctioned off for charity. So watch this space.
Yeah, cool. Right, some big bike industry news now. Specialized founder Mike Sinyard has stepped down as CEO after 48 years at the top. What an incredible tenure at the helm of a cycling behemoth.
And his successor is a chap called Scott Maguire, who will join from Dyson, a company best known for their vacuum cleaners, of course.
Yeah, so from his CV, you can tell that he knows how to make products that really suck.
Thank you, Si. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, no, actually that's not fair, because some of them blow too.
Again, thank you, Si. Now, apparently, Sinyard had been looking for his successor for a long, long time, and he's appointed Scott because he integrates design thinking, engineering capability, supply chain expertise, and operational excellence.
You know what, right? I sometimes think it would be great to be the CEO of a big cycling brand. And then I read something like that, and I realise that my skill set isn't exactly perfectly matched to the role.
What can ride a bike, can talk about riding bikes, and what else is on your CV?
Well, exactly. I mean, that is about it. Let's not even get onto piss-ups in breweries, which is at least something that you could do.
Well, I think I could. I've never actually proven that facts are, though I'd like the opportunity. Although motivation is key to anything, and I would be motivated to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, whilst Mohoric's antics have stolen the headlines over the weekend, the Trofeo Alfredo Binder gave us typically brilliant racing on Sunday too.
Yeah, world champion Elisa Balsamo took a fantastic win from a reduced bunch, making the most of her all-star lead-out from Trek Segafredo teammates Elisa Longo Borghini and Ellen van Dijk.
And Shirin van Anrooy did a brilliant job for them as well. I've got plenty of racing still to come for you this week, so whilst last week was all about the one-day races, we've got a combination of the two coming up over the next 7 days. So yesterday it was the start of the Vuelta a Catalunya. That's 7 days running through to the end of Sunday. Some big names racing there. This Wednesday we have Brugge de Panne, the men's and women's. On Friday it's the E3 Praise, which is like a mini Tour of Flanders. Then on Sunday the men's and women's Gent-Wevelgem take place. So plenty of cobblestones to feature your eyes on this week.
Tell you what, you may or may not be able to organise a piss-up in a brewery, but you can remember what bike races are on this week.
I can,
That
yes.
was very impressive. I've only got one thing to remember, which is the GCN Plus documentary that's launching this week, and what a banger it is too. So it's the latest in our Heartland series. This time we're in Mallorca, where local rider, ex-pro Vincenzo Reigns, takes us around his island, and what an amazing job he does of it, taking us to the little-known bits, and he is a very cool character.
He's quite the character, Vincenzo, isn't
so
he?
cool.
Well worth watching.
Yeah.
Hack/Bodge of the week now, and like GCN Inspiration, we're going to start with a bit of an update from last week's hacks/Bodges.
I like this. This is cool. Updates. This is Lippert from Hack or Bodge here. He says, Dan Lip, full name. This is about the rear derailleur that was
taped on.
That was taped, yeah, like basically electrical taped onto a bike. He said it did honestly work, and it wasn't that much tape either. The mech was just a bit wobbly, causing the derailleur to hit the spokes.
Bodge.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, that's not really kind of working, is it? But anyway, it was taped up to secure it from dropping off.
Used for a few days.
Well, you know what? Like, if you manage to use it for a few days, then I
enough.
guess that is the definition of working. So, yeah, thanks, Dan, for the update.
I will give you the
Appreciate that.
benefit, Dan, of my absolutely massive doubt with that one. The first one for this week comes in from Simon Katrasnik. homemade mudguards. I used a 28C tire and some additional offset layers as a mould for composite mudguards.
Whoa!
After reaching the desired offset with some foam strips, I covered the whole thing with foil for an easy demoulding. Then came the layers of carbon fibre and fiberglass soaked in epoxy for a nicer finish and a bit of layer compression. Stretch film was stretched over that. After curing, the final shape was cut out and fitted to the bike. They look amazing.
They do look amazing. I like this very much. What I'm struggling to get my head around are the 29% of people that say this is a bodge.
I know.
Is this because you don't like mudguards / fenders?
Yeah, as soon as you read the word fender or mudguard, bodge.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a bit like a zip tie, isn't it? From that respect, it just gives the whole cycling community like either a love or hate relationship.
Simon, that is one of the best hacks I've seen, not just in a long time, but since we started the show. They just look brilliant.
They do look brilliant. Yeah, that's a hack from me as well. Well done, Simon. Right then, next up, we got this one from Timbo. Recycling at its best. Spring is nearly here. Who needs hanging baskets when you can use old cycle helmets? Looking at this photo, I'd argue that you probably still need a hanging basket.
Yeah, it doesn't look aesthetically that pleasing, does it?
Not really, no.
I know it's cycling related. I'm all for cycling related things in and around the house, but...
Yeah. Well, and also, you know, it is a thing, isn't it? How do you recycle an old bike helmet? Like, you can't, it goes to landfill.
No, true.
But I'm just not entirely sure that's recycling in the kind of, you know.
I guess it is. It just... I mean, the plants aren't that great either, innit, are they?
Oh! Timbo's going to give us an update next week.
Yes. Please feel free to write in and try and convince me. Timbo. Next up,
Can we just say 72% of the audience thought that was a hack?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
They don't need convincing, but I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Myro Psycho 1. Custom roller from during lockdown. A friend with superb imagination created this roller and customised his Guerciotti aluminium bike. The roller was using part from a lorry fan, a Yamaha LC135 footrest and recycled aluminium. The bike has a custom sandal using old chopper block. I see the bits on the pedals there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in this photo.
There are, yeah. I mean, it's the pedals that really grab your attention.
So that you can use it with sandals.
Nice.
Interesting.
You know what, right? A lot of people were struggling for rollers / indoor trainers, weren't they, during lockdown? And if you make your own out of recycled aluminium and bits of lorries, that's a hack from me.
It's a hack from me as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that.
Were there a shortage of cycling shoes too? I'm just not sure what the need for the
or you can take normal pedals off.
No, you can. I think normal pedals are also in stock in some places.
I think they were, yeah.
Anyway, we'll go with a hack for the homemade trainer, shall we?
But maybe taking customisation one step too far with the pedals, we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. You can certainly get the effort out on a roller like that, couldn't you?
I would say so, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you certainly could, definitely. Right then, next up, we got this one from Donut Endurance. They gave Dan a smart screen and a pen, and this is what happened. Dan, what exactly were you illustrating at this point?
Well, I was looking at the final stage of Tirreno Adriatico, won by Phil Bauhaus, who was basically boxed in on the left-hand side of the road, but found space to move right. The other person I was focused in was Caden Groves, who came second on the stage, and I was just indicating the direction that Bauhaus was about to move in.
Okay, so not what you thought of Phil Bauhaus, more of his direction. And then you also didn't seem to learn from your mistakes, because we also have this image of you next to a smart screen with a pen. What are you illustrating here?
This is illustrating a number of motorbikes and a car at the head of Milano-Sanremo, and then the clean air between Matej Mohoric and the riders trying to chase them behind. I know that very, very few of you at home are going to believe that these two things were not deliberate, because this is exactly the sort of immature thing that I would do. But believe me, until these two things were sent to me last week and this week, I had no idea what I'd done.
Well, I think this is new sport, if you're anything like me. So make sure you head over to GCN Plus for no other reason than Dan's post-race analysis using a smart TV and a pen. You don't know what he's going to draw next. Answers in the comments, perhaps. Back to perhaps more conventional hack or bodges. We've got this one from Death Rider 78. A self-helping spoke A rear spoke broke, so I pulled over as soon as I realised. Upon inspection, the spoke had already wrapped itself around the hub, so all I had to do was push the end of it behind another spoke to stop it catching the brake caliper. I'm not sure if I can take the credit for this real hack. I'm not sure you can take the credit.
No, I don't know if it's not a hack nor a bodge, is it? It's just a broken spoke that's wrapped itself around a hub. Rather neatly, though, I guess.
I mean, that is quite pleasing. But, yeah, lucky escape.
Yeah.
I'd say there. Death Rider 78, but
well,
a name like that, you probably would have embraced it.
54% went with hack, 46% went with bodge.
Are we going to sit on the fence, mate?
Yeah, I'm just neither here nor there with that one. And finally this week, that guy where PFPD, recycling a frame done wrong. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Is the caption beneath it. It's a very strange looking bike, isn't it? Because there's a lot of high-end components, frame, forks, wheels, etc., and then a riser stem, flat handlebars, and bar ends.
Yes, it is a very odd one, actually. It's sort of making me wonder whether or not, is that a legitimate bike, or is it made out of...
Oh, you think it might be a fake?
Well, I don't know. I don't recognise it.
But if you were going to make a fake, you'd still put decent handlebars that were appropriate to the frame set that's fake, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I don't know, like, we're obviously prioritising comfort and appropriate saddle height, but, you know, if you're using an aero bike and aero wheels, you're still going to go faster. I just don't recognise that bike, do you?
Oh no, that's a very good point. It's not the Canyon Time Trial bike frame set.
I don't think it is. Anyway.
Answer on a postcard or in the comment section just down below. Help us out. What's going on with this bike?
Yes. I think the fact that 76% of you voted it with bodge is probably quite a good sign. But yeah, anyway, I would never say it was a bodge if it meant that it fitted properly.
No, or help someone with a bad back, for example.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yeah.
let us know your thoughts on that one as well. Don't forget, next week's hacks and bodges are already on the app, ready for you to vote on. But if you'd like to get involved, ready for 2 weeks' time, all you've got to do is upload your own.
And just as a quick update, what will you be commenting on racing-wise with a smart TV and a pen?
Oh, with
this
the
week?
touchscreen and the pen. Well, why don't you give us some suggestions as to what I can surreptitiously draw whilst analysing a race this time next week? And I'll do my best.
It's time now for Caption Competition, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN Elite water bottle. All you got to do is put a witty caption in the comments section down below that relates to a photo we will give you in just one moment after the small matter of last week's results.
Yep, and the winner of that bottle is Magic Knight, who put Caption Competition under the picture of Warren Barguil. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. I don't even know how the song goes, actually. Is that a good
Here's
rendition?
my handle, here's my spout. I don't really know any more than that, actually.
No, but yeah, quite funny along with that photo. So well done to you, Magic Knight. Get in touch with us on Facebook with a message and your address, and we'll get the bottle out to you ASAP.
Now, keep them clean this week, folks, because here is your photo to get, I was about to say get your teeth stuck into, I won't say that. Matej Mohoric crossing the finish line at Milano-Sanremo. Dan?
Pointing to his dropper post. I'll get you started. Right, do your best touchscreen analysis on this then, Lloydie.
So keep it clean, Dan.
That was clean. I will be analysing the dropper post. Anyway, let us know your best captions in the comment section down below. I'll pick a winner this time next week. A few of our favourite comments from last week before we let you know what's coming up on the channel, starting with a few that came under the elliptical bike video that we put out last week. Starting with CG, we now wait with bated breath for 4 ellipticals versus sight on a TT bike. Ollie will be having kittens trying to calculate the aerodynamics involved.
I think you'd need a flotilla of ellipticals to even reach 20 mile an hour. Like, they did not look fast, did
No,
they?
they did not.
They did not look
They
fast.
did not look fast nor efficient, and they look very ungainly.
Indeed. But Chris C said that Ida guy seems like a real stand-up fellow.
Oh, ba-boom.
But he did win himself a lot of fans. What a thoroughly lovely chap he was.
Yeah, whilst Tuna Fish put, this guy's done more chin-ups in one day than I have in my entire life.
I tried to do a chin-up, on Saturday. I literally couldn't do one.
Really?
Literally, I know, awful, isn't it?
Well, do you not remember we discussed this on a morning call a couple of weeks ago, and I had just done 5 in one go, I might add, and Ollie Bridgewood claims that he can do, was it 9 or 10?
Yeah. I'm not having that. I mean, I can barely believe that you can do 5, but for Bridgewood, to do double that.
We'll ask for video proof, I think, won't we, at some point?
Or we can set up a little pull-up bar in here, couldn't we?
Yeah, and get him to do it during the GCN show next week.
Yeah, if you'd like that,
live.
Stick it in the comment section down below. Just we'll just get everyone in, shall we?
Yeah, we'll just get a whole crowd in
Yeah.
to cheer him on for the 2.
Well, I mean, test all presenters. Everybody except Connor, who'll still be on the floor.
Yeah, let us
Same
know in
time
the
doing
comments
chin-ups.
which GCN presenter in all of the channels, international and UK, do you think can do the most chin-ups, proper ones, in one go?
Sebas. For 100%, that guy can do anything as far as I can see. I bet he can do a gazillion chin-ups. Anyway, we're sidetracking here a little bit. Underneath the flat bar gravel bike versus drop bar mountain bike video, Fabian Irsara says, every time Si says something about STIs feeling familiar, I'm wondering for a minute what's being talked about.
Good point, Fabian. Seattle Girly. 2 weeks back, I was on a soaking wet, water everywhere. Mud and downed tree beaches gravel road. I was on my full suspension mountain bike, happily going slow and enjoying this ride. Guy passed me sliding around chaotic on a modern gravel bike. Pretty sure we were both happy as can be. Ride whatever you want.
Well, yeah.
Good point.
I mean, that is a good point. Ride whatever you like. Sawarai Goldie, sorry, could butcher your name there. I think Si should open his own fashion category on the GCN online shop. Well, yeah, if you do like those tights, maybe we could see about getting some in, couldn't we?
I mean, they'd sell like hotcakes.
They would. They absolutely would. Yeah, and one size fits all, according to the Amazon page. That
because fancy dress outfits are a big thing, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Paul Worth under the greener video, but the first time I've commented on one of GCN's videos that I've watched and enjoyed many. However, this video is covering such an important topic, I felt the need to give it more than just a thumbs up. This is great content, let's have more.
Thank you, Paul. That really means a lot, because it's not easy making content like that. You just feel like you're, pushing out of our comfort zone a little bit, and it's easy to get shot down. So that's really cool. And Nick Brownbill as well also posted a great comment as well. He said he's a research chemist in the greening team at a large consumer goods company. He says that whilst it feels beyond the control of individuals, every time someone who is able to, brackets, makes the choice to buy a more environmentally friendly product, there's a stronger case to force these companies to make cleaner choices. Because the hardest part of making consumer goods greener is convincing cynical shareholders and board members that the public will buy greener goods. So that was a super cool message from inside a large consumer goods firm. So there we go.
Very good. Finally, under the GCN show, Andy Fairchild put, thanks GCN. Now when I'm out on my Brompton and the roadies tear past me all sweat and carbon fibre, I can nod sagely and mutter, I'm doing zone 2, guys, look and learn. Whilst David Rendon put, who knew my slower than the soft training method is actually a pro move? How is your zone 2 training going so far, Si, as the GCN guinea pig at the moment?
It's quite tedious.
Is it?
I'm not going to lie. Like the speed that you go up hills in zone 2, it's like I'm running out of gears. I've never run out of gears before in my life, and I'm running out of gears. And then this morning, I had this really embarrassing situation with a guy on a fixie riding in, because he couldn't go easy up the hills, but yet he's on a fixie, so he was not going very fast.
Each other,
yeah, so we overtook each other about 7 or 8 times, and each time it got progressively more like, hello. Yeah, being British, it was really difficult.
Just as generally awkward,
It was, yeah. By the end, we didn't know what to do to each other. I thought about doing like some Madison-style hand slings, but...
you didn't have those tights on, did you?
Yeah. Do you think that is what made it?
That might have made things slightly more awkward.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I also didn't have any shorts underneath this time, which I think probably is a mistake. They're quite transparent.
Yes. Blimey, Si. I think we should move quickly on to what's coming up on the channel this week, starting with Wednesday, where we're going to show you how to ride multi-day epics. That's not a video presented by me, obviously. On Thursday, top 10 things we should have done when we were pros.
Win races.
Yeah, that would be number 1.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Wouldn't it? And then on Friday, how to build your confidence on a bike. I don't wear those tights, I think is number 1 on that one, isn't it?
No, they gave me some right swagger, definitely. Right then, on Saturday, can Ollie hit 1,000 watts? You'll notice that did not go out last week. I suspect it's because Ollie didn't hit 1,000 watts, but no, it's because he was unwell. Poor old Ollie had a stomach bug. He couldn't even hit 10 watts, let alone 1,000.
He pretty worn himself out doing chin-ups, didn't he?
You probably had. And then on Sunday, we've got an e-bike race for you, which should be a lot of fun. So make sure you check that one out.
Yeah, then Monday, it's the Racing News Show with my touchscreen analysis. So stay tuned for that one.
Quality. Right, thank you very much, all of you, for watching the GCN show for another week.
Yep, we'll see you next week.